Welcome to Leaders Connect, an online leadership community where leaders create more leaders, organized by the Mass Leadership. My name is Yugandhar, currently working in Everest IMS Technologies as HR executive. Leaders Connect is started with the specific objective of creating 1,000 plus leaders, where all the working professionals, business people share their real-time challenges, either leading self, leading others, or leading the business on our website, www.themassleadership.com. We see all the challenges, filter them on every Wednesday. We invite a top management leader from a corporate company who will be giving solution for our real-time challenge on leadership. That's when we call as leaders creating more leaders.
Leaders which have identified or seen saying that I have not been coached by anyone, so why my subordinates should be coached? So, and they say that I have learned on my own, and that's how I've come. And let the subordinates also learn on their own. And why do we need to really coach them or help them? So there are, as rightly told, there are these kind of assumptions will come up there and stops. But really, as you rightly told, once we are able to understand their goals, their aspirations, what they want to be, and are they aligned to where they are and what kind of a role are they doing, then helping them to grow requires structured development process. So wonderfully.
And you know, Prakash, it's become even more difficult in COVID times. Everybody is working remotely. That's correct. Human interaction. You know, communicate, connect, collaborate. Everything is through Zoom calls, Microsoft Teams, and so on and so forth. Human connect is missing. So you don't know, how the person is feeling today versus tomorrow. In an in-person setup, in an office setup, it's very different. The identification is much easier. So COVID has brought its own challenges in terms of developing people.
Rightly said. In fact, COVID has brought its own challenges. But in fact, I like the 3 C's which you told. Communicate, connect, and collaborate. The 3C approach, in fact, really helps. So thanks very much for sharing that. Okay. So since you're sharing about the word called challenges, but yes, definitely there are a lot of challenges. In fact, in whatever roles we take or whatever we play. Even in fact, maybe understand from your experience, Shikha, when you were, in fact, any challenges what you feel are there in terms of structured subordinate development? Because we are aware that, maybe possible, we need to develop a subordinate in a structured manner. Structured means, that means there are a lot many aspects to it, but that also will go a little deeper. But are there any challenges do you face? Why do you feel today certain leaders are able to and few leaders aren't able to really develop their subordinates in a structured manner? What's your experience? And we like to listen to the same.
So if you ask me, Prakash, if the leader is not interested in his own self-development and growth, there is no way he can develop or coach his people, right?
True.
As a leader, it is very important to set examples, leadership by example, right? It's very important to be that role model or that person who's guiding the rest of the team as to how to build capabilities, how to grow, and so on and so forth. So as far as my experience is concerned, I use those 2 buckets from the very start of my journey when I was just about 2, 3, 4 years of experience in the industry. The domain and the technical aspect of the person and the behavioral aspect of the person. I'll tell you where it starts.
Okay.
Most of us, right? What is appraisal for all of us? Okay, do some discussion, give some performance feedback, right? Most of the time it's critical rather than, productive, right? And then give some salary increase and then, okay, bye-bye, thank you. That's what typically happens. And the employee or the subordinate comes with that mindset, right? Yes. My manager will say, my leader will say, these 2 things were right, or these 5 things is what you did right. Rest 5 were all a disaster. So let's talk about the disaster first, right? So number 1, it is very important to appreciate people for what they have done.
True.
The feeling of being wanted, appreciated works magically well, right? Even if the person is slightly average, with motivation, with the inspiration, with that feel good factor, he will perform with that double energy,
Hmm.
And then we talk about the 5 things or whatever, the development plan, right? Now we have to identify areas. Where is this person lacking? The first and foremost thing is to identify those areas, right? Bucket them into whichever area they are lacking on. Second thing is to develop an individual development plan or learning plan or improvement plan, which is very specific to that employee, rather than putting him in some generic training programs, some generic coaching programs, some generic stuff, right? If I am bothered about this one subordinate or this one team member, I will do customized individual development plan.
Excellent.
Right? Once you define as to, say, the person is weak in communication, which happens a lot of times, right? So he needs to, or the person is weak in grooming, or the person aspires to do some certifications in HR, right? He has some learning goals in mind, right?
Yes.
So you chop that down step by step, and then you work out a plan for him as to what he needs to do in the 30, 60, 90-day approach, right? That's 1 quarter. What he needs to do over a period of 6 months versus 1 year. See, development or learning or growth is a constant process.
Yes.
It's not that suddenly you do some magic over 90 days and you have a superhero who's ready to conquer the world. Change is gradual, growth is gradual, and it takes time. So once you develop this IDP, right, you track the person against that. You know, how is he faring? What are the goals? What are his achievements? And give a pat on the back at every milestone, please. That keeps the person going.
Yeah,
it's very important.
Very necessary.
Track, implement, track, and then finally, once the IDP ends, see what results the person is delivering. Sorry, not performing. Yeah, what is the change today versus what it was 6 months back? Have you addressed all those areas? Not only that, during those 6 months, you will also notice a change in the mental makeup of the person.
True.
He's happier. He's more confident. He's spreading positive vibes. If he was thinking of resigning, today he's not, because his leader is interested in his growth. If your growth is my growth, I mean, we don't succeed alone. We succeed because we have kick-ass teams behind us. And if we don't take care of those kick-ass teams, we don't develop people, we are failures.
Right.
Teamwork creates dream work. Right. So this person who was with very average mental makeup, average motivation, today becomes a very supercharged, motivated person because he's getting the due attention, the care, the learning, the growth that he deserves. And his leader or manager is investing time. I think that's the best part of our lives that we can give to somebody, which can never come back. Nobody can repay that.
True.
So just to kind of sum it up, it's important to identify the gaps. It's important to create a plan, track that plan, give a pat on the back during the course of time, and then see the results towards the end of it. Now, challenges are multiple, right? Like I said, in COVID, it's even more difficult to build that connect, communicate, and collaborate. It's easy to hide things, right? Hide feelings. A lot of people don't show up on video, right? You just do an audio call.
True.
You don't know how the person is feeling, right? So during COVID times, I insist that when I do this one-on-one call or a team call, guys, 30 minutes, all of us have to be on video, right? Because body language speaks a lot.
Yes.
I mean, I can have a very, very smiling face, but my body language will finally say that, you know, somewhere something is bothering me. I'm an unhappy person inside. Something is not working out, right?
True.
So it's very important to show up on video calls, and it is important for leaders to read body language.
Right, said.
Subtle signs that people give, right? Just an example, I have somebody who did not ask too many questions in the past, right? We worked on this individual for 6 months. He is at least double the energy, jumping around, right? I think, and another thing that we should do, which I think I missed during the, when I was talking about IDP, Give people responsibilities outside their work area. It is
Yes.
very important to collaborate, cross-functionally, right? Or even within the team. Let's say I have an HR executive who does 1, 2, 3, and I have to run a virtual recruitment drive. I know she's got the spark. I know she's capable of it. Make her the leader of that initiative. So
Perfect.
give people those leadership responsibilities within the team, outside the team. It's such a morale booster. That is, I think, one of the keys of developing people.
True, rightly said. In fact, when we start giving up that responsibility to them and identify and share itself, that really makes them boost, and then definitely I'll be able to do it. Wonderfully shared, in fact, about the individual development plan. So members and visitors, just ask this question to your own self. Have you created, I'm sure most of them have subordinates, have you created an individual development plan for your subordinates? And if yes, just check with the process of what impact Ms. Shikha told. Have you identified the gaps appropriately? Have you made a plan? And are you sitting with your respective subordinate at a frequent interval of every 15 days once on an individual one-on-one to develop them? Just ask these questions your own self. And if not, and yet to do it, then this is a high time. Think about it, and I'm sure we will be able to do.